Welcome to RANsquawk's morning briefing for Friday the 14th of August 2009. Just heading up towards 9 o'clock now in London. So a quick check around the markets and a recap of the overnight news. Firstly, we did finish in equities on Wall Street in minor positive territory. We were up around 0.4 in the Dow and 0.7 in the S&P 500, up as well in the Nasdaq 100 around 0.5%. That was even in spite of the weak retail sales report that we saw. However, we did see likes of Walmart report slightly better than expected numbers, and as an individual stock they did finish higher, some 2.7%. Elsewhere, fed through to Asia, the Nikkei once again closed at a 10-month high. For the session we were up 0.8%, however we did pare back off the best levels. Chinese stock markets, they did finish in negative territory, in the Shanghai Composite. That was on the back of reports that China has instituted a moratorium on the expansion of steel production, which did lead to a bit of nervousness coming in towards the close. Again, the Nikkei did finish up in slight positive. In early trade then in Europe, we are trading up around 0.5% across the FTSE, CAC and DAX. In particular, we're seeing a bit of outperformance in the metal and mining sectors. Did see a note out of Goldman Sachs this morning. They've upgraded the sector to attractive. As well, on a separate note, a note from Bank of America for the telecom sector. They've now downgraded that to neutral from overweight, so a bit of underperformance there. In terms of some overnight news just to be aware of out of Asia, some Bank of Japan policymakers signalled that the bank may end or revise unconventional steps aimed at easing credit strains when they expire in December if financial conditions improve further, as according to their policy meeting minutes. But they also said that measures could be extended again if conditions do not improve enough. Taking a look elsewhere, one of the driving factors in T-notes yesterday was not only the, of course, weak retail sales report from the US, but also the final of the 3 auctions for the week out of the US, the $15 billion note auction that came in with a bid to cover of 2.54, which was starkly above the average and previous, with strong indirect interest from foreign investors of 48.1%. So T-notes did finish in the pit quite a bit higher, some 26.5 ticks, and thus we're seeing EGBs and gilt futures playing a bit of catch-up, trading higher this morning. Elsewhere, worth noting, over in Australia, normal interest rates for Australia would be noticeably higher than the current 3% cash rate. That was according to the central bank governor. That did result in Aussie and Kiwi dollar both touching 11-month highs overnight. Take a look then for the calendar for today. We'll see Eurozone CPI numbers. They'll be due at 10 o'clock London time, followed by the US CPI report at 1:30. We'll then have industrial production capacity utilisation at 2:15, followed by the Michigan report just before 3 o'clock London, just ahead of 9 o'clock in Chicago.